really don't know what Christmas is all about.
Back to another episode of Merry Shaman. Tomorrow is my actual birthday, so today for you guys. But today, being Tuesday, I reached out to 4 separate friends because I was confused on one part of the story. I wasn't confused. I wanted to make sure that I was accurate, and bitch, oh, I was accurate. Where we left off in yesterday's video, if you have not watched it, she'll be linked up here in the cards for you. First, I just want to say, if you have not already subscribed, please do subscribe and join a part of our family, of our little community. I'm so excited. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the end of my year goal. Fingers crossed we reach it, and the only way that we can do that is with you guys. Only way that we can grow larger over here, that I can grow a bigger platform on YouTube, is with you guys and your guys' support. So please, if you have not already, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications bell on. And if you already subscribed and you're part of the Morgan Shay Notify gang, welcome back, my darling. I love you so much. This is part 2 to yesterday's video. So again, if you have not watched it already, I'll have it linked up here in the cards. It will be titled My Birthday from Hell Part 1, something like that. So this is part 2. So where we left off, the dad of the family, which we're going to stick with the same names as in the last video, was walking the odd group of people to their tent. This family was very clear that if they didn't know you personally, then you didn't stay inside of their home or their guest home. And like I said, you guys, I don't condone any of this, okay? Letting large amounts of people drink on your property, especially when some of them are underage, is not only a crime, but it's dangerous as hell, okay? And not only that, but letting people that you don't know stay on your property, that is sus as hell. And the reason why they couldn't call the police is because they had kids there drunk, like myself and Betsy, who were underage, that were intoxicated. Like I said, you guys, these people had been creepers all the whole night. They did not speak to anybody. They literally held hands and danced around a fire the whole night. And also, like I mentioned in the previous story, the dad of this family had pulled his 2 trucks up and had the doors open, and the music was playing. These people weren't even like singing and dancing to his music. They were like singing songs that like I have never heard of in my life. And I know an array of different genres of music. I'm an 80s baby. I know all kinds of classic rock. I know modern. I know all the things. Hell, I even know freaking musical music, okay? Like theater music. This was nothing. I have no clue what they were singing. It didn't sound like it was in English. I have no idea. And I'm going to say this because I do know that there will be people ask me in the comment section below. These were white people, okay? They didn't speak a different language, nothing like that. And the dad brings this guy and his people up on the porch, okay, and puts them in a tent. They get in the tent and everybody goes to bed. This family was very strict on you do not have sex in their home. So there was no funny business going on this night, okay? I want to make that clear right now. We were all dead asleep. And in their like den, there was probably around 10 couples, okay? It was like we were all pallets in the floor type thing. His oldest son, who didn't live there, and his girlfriend were on a pull-out couch. The family's oldest son and his girlfriend, they were on a pull-out couch. But everybody else, it was just like spread out, okay? We were all just asleep. This is something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. I have had sleep paralysis that has not scared me this bad. I have literally had ghosts in my home, okay? And that's a serious matter. They'll be linked above as well in the cards. That shit didn't scare me like this did, okay? This sight was like something I have never seen in my life. I don't know what time it was. Nobody else that I talked to could remember what time it was. It was the middle of the night. That's the best I can tell you. Myself and another girl wake up like at the same time, and we're going to call her Claire because she's going to be important. Me and Claire wake up at the exact same time. On the dot, sis. We wake up at the exact same time to go to the bathroom. I remember seeing Claire's face, and when I talked to her today, she was like it's giving me chills right now. She was like, Morgan, when I seen this, I literally thought that like something bad was going to happen. I had this like horrible feeling in my gut. I remember, oh my God, the chills that I have right now, you guys, is like, I know you probably can't see, but it's so serious. I remember like setting up out in there, and we were in sleeping bags. Like all of us had like separate sleeping bags, blankets, whatever. Setting up, and like where Claire and her boyfriend was like in front of me. Claire was basically at my feet. They were laying long ways like this, and we were laying like this, okay? My head was to the glass door. So when she set up and she looked this way, she seen what she saw, and I'm about to tell you guys. So I remember setting up and seeing Claire's face. And the only way I can describe it is just horrified. Horrified, terrified, extremely scared. That's the only way I know to describe it. And I remember being afraid to ask because I knew that it had to do with whatever was going. I knew it had to do with them because the way that she was staring, I knew it didn't have anything to do with me at the time. You guys, she points like this. She's like, I turn around, and then, oh my God, the guy and two girls are sitting at the glass door, staring inside, doing this. Literally, Claire mentioned this today, and I had forgotten all about this. They did not blink. It didn't look like they were breathing. It was the most terrifying shit I've ever witnessed in my goddamn life, okay? Literally about brings tears to my eyes thinking about this shit. I remember like patting Scooter on the side and being like, look, and like doing this. And he's like, what the fuck? And at this point, everybody's awake. And I remember like scooting towards Claire, like petrified. They were like literally a foot away from my head on the other side of a piece of glass. And had the dad and mom not locked the damn screen door or the glass door, y'all, they probably would have come inside. God only knows what the hell that they were doing. So we like run to the other side of the room, and the son that was in the same room as us with his girlfriend, he's done went and woke up his daddy. And y'all, this is the South. This is the deep South that I'm talking about right now, and they don't freaking play. If you are acting like you are threatening his family and the shit that he's worked for, like he wasn't playing. So he come outside with something with him and opens this glass door, and you would think that this would startle someone. You would think that this would scare someone. You would think that this would make someone flinch or move or whatever. We hadn't cut on any lights, but like they were staring right through the glass door, you guys. They were staring right through the glass. Like they would have seen, they had to have seen our movement. So the mom is like standing in there with us, the dad and the son and like pretty much all the guys open the glass door, and they're like, what the fuck are you all doing? And they don't even budge. They continue to do this. Just staring like straight ahead, not looking off to the side. Their eyes didn't move. Again, like Claire told me today, it didn't look like they were breathing. I didn't see them blink not once. But, oh God, so bizarre. I remember clearly that there were 3 girls. So one of the guys comes out of the tent, okay? A guy did. We are very clear on that, me and Claire. It's been a long time ago, but we know for sure that a guy popped out of that tent. And he said, don't disturb them like that. And the dad was like, what the hell are they doing? Like, what is going on? And he said, this is their nightly ritual. Don't you dare intervene. And like I said, you guys, they were very bizarre. Very, very, very bizarre. Long story short, the dad asks them to leave. So the next morning, typically if there was a party at the hill, everybody would go to a nearby restaurant that's in town. There's not many and in this town, but this is one in particular restaurant that's only open for breakfast, and everybody would go there and eat breakfast. So we all get up and we head down there. Like I mentioned in the last video, there was, to get up to the hill, you would pull off the main road and you would drive for like 15-20 minutes. Then you would get to the actual hill and it would take you like 4 or 5 minutes to get like all the way up to the top. When we get down to the last road before you turn on the main road, those people are sitting there. And you guys, they are outside of their car, long ways down the road, standing there, standing up, holding hands, and doing this. This is not a joke. There are literal people who will be in the comments. That just scared the actual freaking shit out of me. I don't know how that happened. But my dadgum setting spray that was setting way over here on the other side of my vanity just fell. Whatever. There are people who will watch this video who knows that this shit happened. We drive down the road. They're like holding hands. And I still to this day cannot remember. I don't know if it freaked me out so bad that I just kind of like blocked out some of this shit. But I remember specifically like 6 people, I'm pretty sure 6 people holding hands and like doing this. How creepy is that? How creepy is that? This is going to kind of bleed into a side story that has nothing to do with me, but I have full permission to tell the story. And it has to do with my friend Claire. I have changed Claire's name for her protection. She gave me full permission to use her real name. However, because I am telling a story that has to do with something just absolutely terrifying that happened with her, and I stayed like 3 nights with her while this shit was going on. Oh my God, that kills me knowing the fact that she lived with this shit going on for like God only knows how long. That is so scary. But I'm using it for her protection. I will be telling that story right now. So I wanted to go ahead and include this story in with this one, because this one, while it's really scary to me, I thought, well, it might not be very scary to everybody else. And I was talking to Claire today, and she was like, why don't you tell them about what happened not long after that to me with my first apartment? And I was like, oh my God. So Claire did not live near me, okay? Claire dated a guy who lived near me, and I was familiar with her through her boyfriend at the time. But in the town that she lived in, and she lives in another state, but is close to us. That's as much as I'm going to say. And she got her first apartment, and she said later that she wished she would have just waited, because she ended up moving in with the guy from here after all this shit happened, and like it was just a waste. She was living in this apartment, and it was actually a house, and the way that it worked is like she rented the front portion of the house and another guy rented the back portion of the house. So she's living there, time goes by. Like I said, I went and spent the night one weekend, didn't find anything suspicious. Betsy was with me. Betsy didn't mention anything suspicious, but her little dog, on the other hand, I thought was just a little shit, because this little dog would go absolutely freaking nuts all of the freaking time. This dog would lose it, okay? And Claire says that right off the bat, she thought that was weird. Her family had for a long time, and because She was moving out on her own at 20 years old. Her family wanted her to have the dog, basically, so she wouldn't be alone. And so she said this dog never did that and that it was really bizarre, but she didn't think anything of it until about 2 or 3 months after living there. The guy who lived on the back of the house, he said, hey, can you tell who the guy staying in your house to quit crawling on the back part here? So the way that it worked is her attic had like a window. The attic had a window, okay? And if you were to step out of that window, you were basically on the porch roof to the guy who rented the back portion, like basically the downstairs of the house. It was like his porch roof, if that makes sense. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he said, the guy that I guess was either staying with you or working in your attic, he crawled down on my damn roof and he's tracked dirt all down through my porch. And I don't appreciate that. And she's like, I didn't have anybody in my house. I haven't had anybody in my house in weeks. And she said, are you sure? Like, and she was even saying, she was like, the last person who had come and stayed with her was her boyfriend. And there would have been no reason, but she thought, well, maybe it was my boyfriend, you know? And she's like, well, I'm sorry, it must have been my boyfriend, but he hasn't been here in weeks. And he was like, no, this was this morning around 5 a.m. because I was on my porch reading the paper. And she was like, there was nobody in my home at this morning. She did say, though, that she kind of brushed it off. She thought that maybe this man was hearing things or whatever. However, about 3 days later, he comes in, the man who was living in the house below her, he comes and knocks on her door, wakes her up. She told me today, she said, I knew when he knocked on my door that the first thing that popped in my mind was like somebody was in my attic. Knocks on the door, she answers it, and he's like, you said nobody's staying in your home. And she said, no, it's just me. It's just me, but you're really scaring me. And he said, come down to my house now. He calls the police. A white man who's like 6'3", living in the attic, and we live in a house that's been like, basically, she rents the upstairs and I rent the downstairs, and he's in our attic right now. She said when she heard this man say this to the police, her heart sank. And y'all, when the police get there, of course, they catch him. He had drilled holes because the attic stretched across the length of the house. And it was an older house, older style house. I'm not sure what you would call it. It wasn't a split level either. It was like, kind of like a ranch, but like the downstairs was like a full on apartment. But he had drilled holes in the attic to see her in the bathroom. And like, she didn't notice any of this shit, you guys. He had like, oh my God, there was all kinds of stuff up there, clothes. Like basically he had like shampoo and conditioner and towels. And there was like no trace of him like bathing up there. So he was like literally, and she would be gone a lot. And even the guy who lived downstairs, he said, I heard someone in your house like all day long. I just thought you had somebody else living with you. And that shit freaks me out. To this day, she will not live in a place with like access to an attic. She will not. It's like terrorized her for the rest of her life. But she gave me full permission. She was like, Morgan, tell this story. People need to hear it. People need to be safe. And yes, you do. You need to be completely safe. Be sure to check your surroundings. Be sure that if you do move in a place, an older place like that has an attic and there's some type of access, be sure that it is checked and it is locked. And there's some way for it to not be able to be opened or accessed from the outside. Just be safe out there, people. Do not underage drink and party. It's very dangerous. Something bad could have happened to myself or someone else that night at that party. Those people, they more than likely had really bad intentions considering what that guy went on later to do. So just be really, really careful with what you do. But yeah, you guys, I love you all so much. I hope you did enjoy part 2 with the little extra story there at the end. Tomorrow we do have a really fun TikTok get ready with me. I'm super excited for that. And tomorrow is my birthday. So be sure, because you all are going to see this on my birthday. So be sure to tell me happy birthday down in the comment section below. And for my birthday, you can just, subscribe, turn your bell on. And if you've already done that, go follow me on social media. I love you guys so much. And until next time, bye.